a top level Protoss like this, Action not going to be completely helpless here. Mulus still not the best choice to send against Corsairs, unfortunately. Rather, just a few Mulus like that. He needs a few more Scourge to pick off the remaining Corsairs. He does have quite a few Mulus, which surely he'll use to try to pick away at Templar. High Templar is what you would use. Bisu does have a second Shadow. Perhaps he's loaded a few more Templar in there, or perhaps another Reaver. I'm not sure. Still, the Mulus will be able to pick off the Shadow or the Scourge, and that Shadow is going to be critical, I feel, to this push coming out by Bisu here. I think Bisu, as long as he can keep the Shadow and whatever high-value unit in it alive, he's going to be fine, but if he loses it, he might be in some trouble here. Still, both players, I would say, mostly evenly matched. Action cleverly with a Lurker, going to be able to hit some of these probes here, but Bisu will probably realize this. Actually, he has not noticed for some reason, and he needs to be careful there. That Lurker already has 5 kills. Bisu cannot afford to bleed probes at that position. Bisu not paying attention. A rare lapse by him. Don't know. Maybe now he's trying to push out with his forces. That Lurker has 7 kills. Bisu really throwing away his third base there, uncharacteristically so. Is what Action needs to do to come back in this game. Although a direct assault on that base is still a foolish proposition at best. Now Bisu coming in with attack. Those Scourge not getting anywhere near the Shadow. And I don't know what exactly is in the Shadow. Bisu clearing out that Lurker there and pushing back Action's forces for now. Bisu does have a huge army, 2 Reavers, High Templar, and Corsairs. This is the sort of fully formed Protoss army. This is going to be difficult for Action to deal with. Action needs to either snipe the High Templar or the Reavers with his Mulus. Bisu sending his Corsairs to engage Mulus, exactly what he needs to do. Corsair might walking up the Mulus. Storms going off all over the place. This is a choke point. Perhaps, storm all over those Zerglings and Lurkers. Devastating, and those 2 Reavers sitting there just laying on the hurt. And Action's forces are in some trouble. Bisu using his Dragoon Reaver force here, holding this narrow choke point, as Dragoons and Reavers are very good at doing. Storms going off all over these units, the gas going down for Action. I do not see how Action is going to be able to hold this base. He's throwing everything he has at Bisu. Perhaps he might be able to hold after all. Bisu microing his Reavers, using them absolutely critically to hold off wave after wave of Zerg units. I mean, this is what it means. Bisu, one of the best players around. Those 2 Reavers absolutely critical in that battle. Nevertheless, Action has managed to force Bisu away with the pure weight of numbers there. Bisu falling back to his photon cannons, using that and his Reavers to defend, forcing Action back again. Bisu has managed to build up some more Zealots and Templar. He needs to be careful with some of his Corsairs here. Those Corsairs are absolutely vital. Action put down another expansion at the 11 o'clock. So Action actually doing a pretty good job holding his own here with Bisu. I have to say, Bisu not managing to kill the hatcheries there. So I would have to call that a victory by Action, although it was still close. It wasn't like Bisu won a decisive victory or anything. Bisu delaying putting down his 4th expansion, that could be a bit of a mistake. He really needs another base, considering his main's almost going to be mined out. Bisu, even with a few Corsairs, sending them around to do good damage. This is what I mean. Bisu's multitasking is incredible. If he had his Shadow, he could drop there with a few units and do some serious damage. We have Hive Tech finish and Defilers out now here for Action. His Burrowed Hydralisk is going to spot this drop. Hopefully Action has something to hold out. It's going to be Reavers, it looks like. 1 Reaver, only the Reaver only picking off 1 drone. Looks like Action doesn't seem to have anything. Surely he's bringing High Templar plus Reaver. Ooh, causing all sorts of damage there to Action. And Bisu still using his Corsairs to harass, pick away at Overlords left and right there. Bisu just using his units absolutely brilliantly all game. Action suffering some harass. Still, Action is going to be fine on 5 bases, 5 gas especially. He's not going to be too bothered by that harass as long as he doesn't lose any more units to Bisu's attack. Bisu is going to be able to get his 5th base up, or 4th base up rather, and perhaps he might even be able to set up a 5th base. Now Action is pushing out with cracklings, it looks like. I don't know what their upgrades are like. Bisu does have +2 upgrade on his attack rather on his Zealots. So if those Zerglings only have +1 Carapace, the Zealots have a significant advantage. I think the Zerglings only have +1 Carapace. They are dying very quickly. That Corsair has 7 kills. Absolutely sick. Action does have units sprinkled all around the map. He's focused on range upgrade, it looks like, even though he has quite a few Zerglings. Bisu marauding around the map, sort of in a defensive position with his main army. He's got Reavers, he's got Templar, he's got his 4th base up and secured. Action, though, is surely planning to make some sort of big push sooner rather than later. And you cannot let Bisu sit around for too long. You need to try to effect some sort of victory, whether it's by, or probably at least try some sort of drop to at least try to distract Bisu. You know, you have to try, even though Bisu is difficult to distract. Now, Bisu going in for attack looks like a natural. Actually bringing all his forces, it looks like, to deal with this. Massive battle going on. Storm, Reaver shots all over the place. Action counter-attacking very well with his cracklings. Drop all over Bisu's main, but Bisu does have some Zealots over there. Bisu, massive army of Archon, Templar, Reavers, blasting through whatever defenses Action has. He's tried to drop at the 9 o'clock. That didn't work. We have these observers getting sniped by the Scourge. That might buy Action some time if he has Lurkers, but it doesn't look like he has Lurkers. Bisu cleaning up the dropping his main. Unfortunately, that drop not doing quite the damage he wanted, and Bisu storming all over the place. Action reinforcements getting absolutely slaughtered there. Bisu pushing through to the natural. If he can take out this natural, Bisu is going to be in prime position to win this game. Bisu storming over all those drones, and Action just not able to cope with Bisu in the late game here, as I predicted. Unfortunately, Action not up to the task. Even if he manages to defeat this army, which he very well may, and those Reavers absolutely worth their weight in gold, Action's gonna be too crippled economically to compete at this point. His forces are gonna be whittled down, and Bisu has 2 Archons, a handful of Dragoons, and Templar. GG coming here from Action. Bisu, dominant display. I'm not sure there was a single point in that game where Action really had any sort of advantage. There was only one point, I think, where Action actually had the initiative, and he did not really achieve anything with that. Bisu, truly a versus Zerg genius. Going on to the next game.